Barcelona are entering the race for Antony. Is Man United ready to let the Brazilian go? Juventus are preparing an €85 million bid for Osimhen. Is the deal already close? Arsenal have locked in their first summer transfer. Sané is refusing to extend his contract, and Premier League giants are already circling. United are offering €100 million for a Newcastle star. And Rashford might have a new team. Yes, it's that 400 likes moment again. No, we won't stop. Yes, you're tired of hearing it, but imagine how we feel begging for it in every single video? Alright, enough with the guilt. Here come the rumours, and all we ask in return is your mercy. Juventus is on the hunt again, and their new obsession, Victor Osimhen. Yeah, that same Osimhen who was causing chaos in Naples not long ago, and now showed up doing bits in Galatasaray this spring. Now Juve's thinking, hey, why not bring him back to Serie A? Sounds cool, right? Only problem, he's still locked up tight in Napoli's hands. And guess what? De Laurentiis isn't in the business of charity, especially not for his biggest rival. Let's be real, the guy's not about to gift wrap Osimhen for Juventus. That's like handing your enemy a rocket launcher before the battle. Plus, Napoli are flexing this season, even without Victor. So, why share that kind of firepower with Juve? Here's the plot twist. De Laurentiis wants to sell him abroad, either to the Premier League or straight up get that oil money from Saudi Arabia. But hold up, it's not that easy anymore. England's got new financial rules, and even the big spenders are double-checking their wallets. And Saudi? Osimhen's not really vibing with the retirement league life just yet. Dude's still got ambition. Enter Juventus. Again, Cristiano Giuntoli, Juve's main man for transfers, who also happens to be Napoli's ex-sporting director, is dreaming of linking back up with Victor. But dreams are free. Transfers? Not so much. Even if that famous €75 million release clause exists, it apparently doesn't work for Italian clubs. So Juve might have to cough up €85 million. And here's the big question, where's that money coming from? Spoiler, no Champions League equals no cash. No Club World Cup equals still no cash. So yeah, Tudor and the boys better get those wins if they want to see Victor in black and white. Oh, and let's not forget, as long as Vlahovic is still hanging around, this move ain't happening. Gotta sell to buy. Simple football math. So now we ask, will Juve actually pull this off? Or is this just another hype-filled headline that ends up going nowhere? Let us know what you think. Would Osimhen rock the Juve shirt, or is it all just fantasy? Look, if there's one thing you can always count on, it's that the Catalans will never stop loving a good bargain. Every transfer window, it's the same story, digging deep into their pockets, trying to scrape together enough for a rising star. And guess who's back on their radar this summer? Marcus Rashford. Yep, the perfect fit. Affordable, bags of potential, and most importantly, clearly desperate to finally escape Manchester, where, let's be honest, things just haven't been working out for him lately. Remember this past winter, when Barça came this close to signing Rashford, but at the last minute, the deal fell through, all because Ansu Fati didn't want to leave. Classic case of financial fair play putting the brakes on yet another move. So instead of sunny nights at Camp Nou, Rashford ended up in the cold reality of Aston Villa. But to be fair, that Villa loan might have been the best thing that happened to him. The guy looked like a new man, smiling again, fans cheering him on, and suddenly everyone remembered why he used to be called the future of English football. And now Barca's back. Turns out, they never really stopped watching him. In fact, they've been closely following his performances at Villa Park. And why not? Barca's really valuing players who offer versatility right now. Rashford might not be Messi, but he can play as a 9, on the left wing, or pretty much wherever you need him. Just give him that exit ticket from United. And here's the kicker. Rashford's now being represented by none other than Pini Zahavi, a literal legend in the agent world and practically best buddies with Laporta and Deco. That's right, the same Zahavi who's been deep in the Barca inner circle for years. So if anyone had doubts about Barca's interest being serious, well, they shouldn't anymore. Can you imagine what this means for Marcus? A chance to finally wear the iconic Blaugrana shirt, to walk out at Camp Nou, not as a visitor, but as one of their own. For a guy who grew up dreaming about this club, that's not just a transfer, that's a full career reboot. For Barca, it's just as big. A fresh face up front, a smart, cost-effective move, and a player right in his prime at 27. No panic buys, no budget blowouts, just smart business. if they can pull it off. So now the only real question is, can Barcelona finally get the deal done? Or are we in for another episode of almost signed him, but financial fair play said no? What do you think? Will we see Marcus Rashford light up Camp Nou next season? Or is this just another football fairy tale gone wrong? Alright, Gooners, buckle up, because the rumours that have been brewing since winter are starting to take some very real shape. Yes, we're talking about Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad, and it looks like Mikel Arteta has finally done it. Zubimendi is heading to North London this summer, according to Fabrizio Romano, and when he talks, the football world listens. Arsenal haven't just shown interest, they've already reached a verbal agreement with Zubimendi on a long-term contract. This deal is basically in place, but that's not all. Arsenal have already contacted Real Sociedad with a clear message. They're ready to activate his release clause. That's 60 million euros. The money goes to Spain, and Arsenal get one of the most promising defensive midfielders in the game. Remember how close this move was back in January? It was almost done then, but for one reason or another, it fell through. Still, Arteta kept his focus. He knew exactly who he wanted, and now it looks like he's getting his man, and this could be just the beginning. This is shaping up to be the first big move in what many are calling a revolutionary transfer window for Arsenal. Now here's the twist. Guess who Arsenal just beat out for Zubimendi? Real Madrid. Yes, Real Madrid were also pushing hard for him. They wanted to bring him in, but Zubimendi chose the red side of North London. He chose Arsenal. That alone says a lot. Arsenal just won a head-to-head battle with one of the biggest clubs in the world. That sends a huge message. It shows everyone how far this team has come. This is not the same Arsenal from 5 years ago. Some extra context. Zubimendi actually had the chance to join Arsenal last summer, but to his credit, he stayed with Sociedad for another season to help the club and finish what he started. And now he's ready for the next step. The Premier League, the Champions League, Arsenal. A brand new chapter is about to begin. And here's something else to think about. Zubimendi is expected to join up with his current teammate Mikel Merino at Arsenal. Two intelligent, technical midfielders anchoring the middle of the pitch. That's something to get excited about. Sure, 60 million euros is a serious investment, but when you're talking about the captain and midfield engine of Real Sociedad, it makes sense, especially for a club like Arsenal, with big ambitions and a clear plan. For their top midfield target, this is a statement move. So why is there still no official announcement? Good question. And the answer is actually pretty admirable. Zubimendi wants zero distractions. He's focused on finishing the season with Sociedad, staying locked in until the final whistle. And that kind of professionalism deserves respect. So, Arsenal fans, it's time to get excited. A new midfield general is on his way. From my point of view, this is a huge signing. But what do you think? Big things are brewing at the Emirates. Let's wait for the official reveal and get ready for a massive summer. Now that's what I call a statement move from Manchester United. No more playing small, they've slapped a whopping 100 million euros on the table for Sandro Tonali from Newcastle. Yep, 100 million. Feel the ambition, right? But hold on, it's not as smooth as it might look at first glance. Let's rewind a bit. Remember how Tonali's Premier League journey started? Yeah, not exactly a dream debut. He arrives in England and boom, hit with a 10-month ban. Why? Turns out, our guy fancied a bit of illegal betting. Risky move, playing high stakes with your reputation. Eh, Sandro? And after a start that chaotic, people were betting, legally, on him, ending up on loan to Southampton at best. But guess what? He bounced back. And not just bounced back, he's become absolutely essential in Newcastle's midfield. The so-called bad boy of Italian football. More like the heartbeat of the Magpies. Now it makes sense why United want him. With Ruben Amorim at the helm and Champions League ambitions in sight, they need a powerful, smart midfielder like Tonali. Speaking of ambitions, May 21st, Europa League final, United versus Tottenham. And this, folks, is where things get very interesting. Spurs have embarrassed United 3 times this season already, and if they do it again in Bilbao, well, then it's goodbye Champions League, goodbye Sandro Tonali. But if, just if, the Red Devils pull off a win and finally get revenge, that 100 million euros might not seem so crazy after all. And who knows, maybe Newcastle starts thinking twice. But here's the real question. Are Newcastle actually willing to let him go? Because Tonali isn't just any player. He's one half of that insane midfield duo with Bruno Guimaraes. These guys play like footballing soulmates. One tackles, the other recovers. One passes, the other scores. Break that up and you're asking for trouble. Still though, if there's one club ruthless enough to make it happen, it's United. They've got the money, the ambition, but let's be honest, they are short on quality midfielders. So really, the ball's in Newcastle's court. Are they strong enough, financially and emotionally, to say no to the Devils? And what about Juventus, you ask? Sure, they'd love to bring Tonali home, but let's be real. At this point, it's more wishful thinking than a serious bid. In Turin, they're still hoping that his Italian blood will eventually call him back to Serie A. But he's under contract till 2028. And why would he go back to a struggling Juve when there's a chance to play Champions League football with United? Whatever happens, one thing's for sure. This story is far from over. Bigger twists, bigger numbers, and maybe even bigger drama still to come. What do you think? Are Newcastle willing to let Tonali go? Or will United end up turning their attention somewhere else? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's see who's bluffing and who's really ready to drop 100 million on the table. So, looks like Bayern have decided that Leroy Sané isn't quite the same cake they once craved. And get this, they've offered him a contract extension, but with a pay cut. Yep, he'd still earn around £12 million a year, but apparently Leroy's not exactly thrilled by that kind of generosity. And here's the real kicker. There's a very real feeling that Sané might pack his bags and leave Munich this summer, for free. You heard that right. His contract is expiring next month, and you know what that means. Premier League clubs are already circling. Rumour has it, Arsenal and Chelsea are especially high on his list. What can we say? The man wants an ambitious project. Fair enough. And honestly, if Sané is fit and firing, he'd be a serious upgrade for either of those squads. As for Tottenham or Newcastle, seems like he's not feeling that level. Sorry, Spurs and Magpies fans. I can almost hear your teeth grinding already. But hey, it's his career. He's got every right to choose where to play. Now here's where it gets really juicy. Sané has just hired Pini Zahavi as his new agent. Yes, Pini Zahavi, that's like hiring the devil's lawyer before your divorce. I mean, come on, you don't bring in Zahavi when everything's going smoothly. This guy is a real shark, with top-tier connections across Europe, especially in Barcelona and Real Madrid. And sure enough, the rumors have started. Sané is now open to a move to La Liga. Can you imagine Sané in a Barça shirt? Or maybe even Real Madrid? Though, let's be real, Madrid's left wing is already overcrowded, plus they've just brought in a new manager. So that move feels unlikely. But Barça? Now that's interesting, especially since they love a good free transfer and are constantly juggling their finances to stay under the cap. Meanwhile, Bayern seem pretty firm. They're not budging beyond their current offer. And here's the big question. Is it really worth staying for Sané? Of course, he wants to maximize his salary. Who wouldn't? But there's also game time and the club's ambitions to think about. Maybe Bayern just don't want to overpay for someone who, let's be honest, is crazy talented, but also not always consistent. Personally, I think if Sané really wants a big contract and a shot at silverware in a serious project, the Premier League is his best bet. A return to England, where he already lit it up for City, would be fire. Imagine him at Arsenal, with all that young energy and title hunger. Or at Chelsea, always on the lookout for fresh firepower in attack. Makes total sense. So now we wait for the final chapter in this transfer saga. Where's Sané headed next? Back to the Premier League or off to sunny Spain? Guided by master negotiator Zahavi. Drop your predictions in the comments. Where do you think the German lightning bolt will strike next? Barcelona, the eternal drama kings of football finance, are once again gearing up for the summer transfer window. And, as always, their ambitions are sky high. Strengthen the squad and somehow not get slapped by financial fair play. A balancing act only the Catalans dare to try. So, who's on their radar this time? None other than Antony. Yes, the Brazilian trickster from Manchester United. The same Antony who quietly slipped away to Real Betis on loan this winter, and suddenly started to show signs of life. Out of nowhere, he began to actually perform. Some even say he's become one of the more noticeable players in La Liga. Maybe not the star, but definitely someone worth watching. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Barcelona's manager, Hansi Flick, reportedly sees Antony as a player who naturally fits our playing style. From Manchester United? Seriously? Well, maybe Flick sees something the rest of us missed. Fresh eyes and all that. To be clear, this isn't about a full transfer yet. As usual, Barca are counting every penny, or at least pretending to, so they're only considering a loan move for now. Meanwhile, Manchester United seems so done with Antony that they'd probably ship him out in a cardboard box if it meant getting rid of him. And get this, they're ready to sell him for just 20 to 30 million pounds. Let that sink in. They paid 86 million pounds to Ajax, and now they're ready to take a hit of over 50 million. Classic Old Trafford economics. Apparently, they're desperate to free up funds for yet another summer rebuild. Sound familiar? As for Antony, sources say he's totally open to moving to Barcelona. He dreams of establishing himself among Europe's elite and sees Barça as the perfect platform for his development. Of course he does. And if you, our loyal viewers who somehow survive our weekly sarcasm marathons, are also looking for the perfect platform to grow, let's say your sharp football opinions and ability to laugh at the madness of the transfer market, then it's right here, below the video. That subscribe button isn't behind a paywall yet. No need to sell grandma silver like Barça do every time they need a new signing. Anyway, making the leap from a flop season in the Premier League to a fresh start at Barça. That's a bold move. But insiders are calling it a low-risk gamble with high upside. Antony's name is reportedly underlined on the shortlist since he could strengthen a key position without blowing up Barca's already fragile finances. Yeah, no kidding. So, a loan with a buy option, that's the working plan. And Flick thinks Antony could seriously push Yamal and Rafinha for a starting spot. Betis, where Antony's currently impressing, likely can't afford the 20 to 30 million pound asking price. That leaves Barça with a real chance here. Can they pull it off despite their money troubles? Personally, look, Antony at Ajax was fire, flair, pace, a killer left foot. But at United, he looked like a completely different player, lost, hesitant, predictable. Could he turn into just another stalled project at Barça? Or maybe Flick actually sees something no one else did. This deal smells like a gamble, but with that price tag, might be worth the risk. What do you think? Could Antony thrive in Barcelona? Or is he just another bench warmer in the making, destined for a cheap sale 2 years from now? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear your take.